Hello everyone, just a short one tonight. The date is 19th of June 2021 and I've got a word for you. And Jesus said, tell my people that I am working behind the scenes. Trust in me with all your heart and all your being. It's not only helping you, but freeing up all the channels that are bringing the answers. Praising me is an action that shows all of heaven that you are leaving it all in my hands. When it is totally in my hands, I will do a perfect work that will astound everybody. And the scripture I've got is Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. I've got a song for you. Again, wrote many years ago. I've actually got this on my CD, which is called Soar Like an Eagle. Let me know if anybody wants one of those, and I'll get it printed off and sent to you. Those mighty hands that hung the stars up in the sky made the fragile wings of a butterfly. Are the hands that keep me safe and lift me high, cause my heart to fly. That's the reason why I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad you are my Lord. You made sure there was nothing left undone. When for my salvation you sent your Son, there were no loose ends untied when he died, so I could be a happy child. That's the reason why I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad you are my Lord. Even though you're the great God and mighty King, you're concerned in my life about the little things. You take my hand, help me choose to stand and trust you so. Cause my heart to glow, that's the reason why I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad you are my Lord. You came into my life and made all things new. Never seen the grass so green or the sky so blue. And even now on the darkest night, the sun still shines in this life of mine, all because of you. I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad you are my Lord. Right, well, nothing written down here, but I'd really just like to try to explain something, just so in case it could help anybody. And I think I have tried to explain this before. You know, I'm quite interested in certain like medical matters. I'm not a doctor, but through the experiences of going through certain sicknesses and standing on the word that I am the healed and not the sick, God showed me certain ways to bring that man. I must say that we have got the healing, but to bring it into manifestation, to bring it out of us, if you like, because it's everything we've got is in there in the kingdom, isn't it? And so certain things, just a little list. I'm not going to all of it, but gallstones, he showed me how to get rid of those. And I had a lump in my breast like an orange, and he showed me basically that was a spiritual healing. It came through a miracle. Told me how to mix love with the word, and it just disappeared under my hands. And just certain things. Seasickness is ginger is far better than just as effective as a tablet that you take. Lots and lots of different things, and I'd love to perhaps make a channel where I'm actually showing people how God's shown me how to sort out different things. I had cystitis over and over again, and I was given the answer for that. And but basically, recently I had high blood pressure, and I didn't want to go onto the tablet route, and that's not saying to anybody or advising anybody not to do that. But for me, I wanted to find out. I wanted to get to the very root cause of it, and I have mentioned this before, and it was somehow learning how to commune with my own heart. You know, it says somewhere in Psalms about commune with your own heart on your bed, and somehow God gave me the grace to like make friends with my own heart, like to see it as a separate entity. And I started speaking to it and saying, no, little heart, come on, let's do what God says. He says, I'm not to let you be troubled. And in doing that, and sort of going to the Father with my heart and saying, and talking to my heart, talking to the Father, somehow my heart started trusting the Father and how much he loved my heart. Like I was playing Godfrey Birtle's lovely song, You Are So Loved. Yes, you are. And somehow I could feel my little heart healing, because it was fairly broken. But not only that, all the stresses and all the things I was doing and the strain I was putting on it. But anyway, so my blood pressure went down basically as I learned to commune with my heart and to speak the word to it and say, no, come on, don't be worried, don't be troubled, because Jesus said, be of good cheer. And so that was happening. Since then, I started to take on certain stresses again, and also certain things were happening that could be fairly heartbreaking, really. I think one of the reasons is doing this, what I'm doing on YouTube, and also really investigating on the kingdom and how to bring the kingdom on the earth in a physical sense. I think somehow riled the enemy up, I don't know, but there were certain things in my life that could be so heartbreaking, and stresses and different things. And just this morning, this is what I want to share with you, is although I was walking on the word in on certain issues, to do with many aspects, my health, my children, my finances, although I was walking on the word, I wasn't really trusting with all my heart. And what did he say? He said, don't let your heart be troubled. Don't let it be afraid. And there must be a reason for that. Why wouldn't you be troubled at some of the things that are happening, some of the things that are being done to you, you know? But there is a reason, and why we can trust him with all of our hearts. And that is for a couple of things. When this shaking started, he showed me in the middle of last year there were going to be a great shaking. He said, hold on to two things. One is that I'm bringing good out of all situations, and two, I've promised you in Jeremiah 29:11, I've got a good plan a future and hope. And he said, hold on to those two things. So we've got every reason, even though everything looks amiss, to trust him. And that takes such a strain off of our hearts if we say, come on, little heart, trust in God with all your heart. And he showed me that this morning, that there were areas where, yeah, I'm walking, I'm standing, but I don't quite understand. But he said, no, trust in me with all your heart. And the other thing is that sometimes we want to do things like, if we've got a task to do, we sort of want to do it our way, what we think is the perfect way. And he said, come to me all you are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart. And it really spoke to me that yeah, do it his way. His way is so much easier, you know. My way is do it this way, do it that way, and it can take hours and hours. But you know, when I come to him and I say, Lord, have you got a word for tonight? I just get my pen and paper, and it's so easy. And so there's a couple of things there: to come to him when you're weary and heavy laden, and do it his way. And the other thing is trust him with all of your heart, lean not to your own understanding. So I just wanted to share that with you, because there's so many people with heart flutterings and irregularities and blood pressure and things to do with the heart. And I think it's just the way things are at the moment, that our hearts take a lot of stress and strain, and we can bring relief to that. So I'm not saying that's the only answer, but it's my answer, and I wanted to share that with you. So anyway, that's basically it. Father, I just want to pray that you will help us, Lord, to be familiar with our hearts and to guard them with all diligence, because out of our hearts are the issues of life. And I just feel this is an important lesson, that you help us to understand and give us the means to do that. Give us the grace to know how to get to know our hearts, and to know when there's unbelief, when there is anger, when there is fear, anything that's not in line with how you intended our hearts to function. So show us, Lord. Everybody who's watching, Lord, I pray for this grace. And I want to pray now for Anthony. So if you know anybody called Anthony, please, and they need this word, let them know. So Anthony, the Lord is saying he loves you. He loves your heart, and you've got a good heart. And people have condemned you, but he's not condemning you. He knows that you've got a good heart, and you're doing everything that you know to do in this situation. He said, start to look to him for the answers, and look to the kingdom way for answers, and come to him, and he'll show you how to do it his way. And it won't be a hard way, and it will be a way of trust, and it will be a way of love. But he's going to lead you out of the situation and into the light, and you'll come into a large place. Patricia. It's saying, don't be afraid. Don't look down. Look up. All your answers are up there in his hands, and he's really happy. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's moulding, and he's working something, and he knows the finished product. So just trust it in his hands, and you're going to see something wonderful. He's very, very pleased and very, very happy with what is happening. So look up and look and see him smiling and him working very proficiently in this area that you're thinking about or you're concerned about. So God bless you all, and God willing, if He gives me a word, I'll be here tomorrow. Bye bye everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button, give me a comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and ring that bell for updates. God bless you all. Bye.